So the only difference between now and the past is that things are recorded now. These things aren't new. These things are just newly recorded.
Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell soup over white rice. Baked chicken with the skin on. Yeah, Lowry's with black pepper. I'm fully seasoned with that.
What's up, y'all? So a homeless man raped a woman on a train in Philadelphia while people pulled out their phones, recorded it, and did absolutely nothing. So I'm going to read from this article from CNN. A woman was allegedly sexually assaulted on a transit train in Philadelphia last week, even as a number of witnesses failed to stop the incident or call the police, authorities said. The alleged rape occurred on the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transport Authority's Market Franklin line on Wednesday night, and it was a horrific criminal act, Septa said in a statement. The Public Transit Authority said other people on the train saw the incident and did not alert authorities. There were other people on the train who witnessed this horrific act, and it may have been stopped sooner if a rider called 911, Septa said. Septa urges anyone who observes a crime being committed or any dangerous situation occurring to report it. Anyone witnessing an emergency should immediately call 911. Septa spokesman Andrew Buss said an employee in the vicinity of the incident as the train went past called police to report something wasn't right. The Septa employee boarded the train and saw the assault in progress and immediately called 911. That prompted an immediate response by Septa Transit Police. And an officer boarded the train when it arrived at 69th Street Transportation Center, Buss said in the statement. The officer located the suspect and the victim and took the suspect into custody. The suspect was identified as Fiston M. Nagoy, 35, who had a preliminary arraignment last Thursday on charges of rape, sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault, and more, according to court documents. He is being held at Delaware County Prison on 10% of $180,000 bail and has preliminary hearing scheduled for next Monday, the document states. CNN has not been able to reach Nagoy for comment. Police said that witnesses on board of the train should have called police or intervened. Anybody that was on the train has had to look in the mirror and ask why they didn't intervene or why they didn't do something. Upper Darby Police Station Superintendent Timothy Bernhard told CNN on Monday. Collectively, it could have gotten together and done something. Bernhard said that the suspect did not know the victim, who he praised for coming forward, according to CNN affiliate WPVI. Unbelievably strong woman, she really is. She came forward, she provided a lot of information. She's on the men, and hopefully she'll get through this, he told VPI. So this is extremely disturbing, but to be quite honest, it's not all too surprising. And I'm not going to give the typical reason like, oh, this generation, blah, blah, blah. No, because that's not true. The bit of information that I really wish that I knew about what happened is how many people were witnesses to the crime that took place. And the reason why that's significant is because there's something called the bystander effect. Research was done on this following the murder of Kitty Genovese in 1964. Genovese, while returning home from work, was viciously attacked and sexually assaulted by a man with a knife for over a half hour, while 38 people either heard or saw the attack by the man 3 separate times and did absolutely nothing to stop it. They didn't try to stop it or they didn't call the police. So this isn't this generation type thing. This is not a generational issue. And that some older people would say. This has much more to do with human psychology. So the reason why I was curious about the number of people who witnessed the attack is because most people believe that the more people are around when an emergency situation is happening, the more likely they are to receive help and the safer they would be in that situation. But unfortunately, the more people that's around in an emergency situation, the less likely it is for action to be taken. And the reason why that is in those situations is because most people believe that in that situation, someone else will intervene. Someone else will call the cops. Someone else will step in and assure another person is being safe and not being harmed. And they believe that someone else will step up to save that person, and it becomes groupthink. And everyone thinks the same, and no one actually does anything. Conversely, when there are less people around to witness an event, the more likely it is for the victim to receive help, because the bystanders in that situation know that there's no one else to help out that person. So it's on them to actually do something if they want something to get done. And research shows that the presence of other people can diffuse the responsibility to help. I'm not going to go super deep into the bystander effect because I don't want to make this video super long, but several factors contribute to the reasons why people fail to act. And it's not because the bystanders don't actually care about the victims. It's quite the opposite. They do care about the victims. It's just more so that people believe someone else will help the victim. The bystanders may be in shock because they've never encountered such a situation in their life. They may be scared and worried for their own safety and being harmed themselves. Or they may feel someone else is more qualified to help the person or persons in distress. So what if you are in a situation? So there's several ways to make it more likely that someone will help, even though nothing's guaranteed, right? So studies show that if a person yells and screams, they're much more likely to receive help than someone who it's unclear whether they're in distress or not. So if you're in a situation, it's very important that you yell and scream. Make it very clear that you are in danger and in trouble, because studies show that almost all the time when a person yells and screams, that they will receive some form of help. So I did not watch this video or any of the videos of people who may have recorded it. I didn't search it. I'm not going to watch the video at any point, nor will I put the video of the man raping the woman in my video description for you to watch that. I'm just not going to do it. But I would assume that this woman that was sexually assaulted and raped on the Septa transportation system, I would assume that she screamed and she yelled and she still didn't receive any help. So the thing is here, according to his research, you're more likely than not, you're going to receive some form of help if you yell and scream in almost all cases. But the key words here is in almost all cases, not in every case, people will help you. Sometimes people are just going to watch you be attacked. So there's no way to guarantee that you will receive help if you are in this situation in public, but it's important that you make it much more likely if you're being attacked to yell and scream. Make sure it's very clear to everyone around you that you are in danger and that you need help. So the only difference between now and the past is that things are recorded now. These things aren't new. These things are just newly recorded. So suspect Fizan M. McGoy, who is 35 as I read in the article, he's being held at Delaware County Prison for 10% of $180,000 bail, which would be $18,000, which he probably can't afford because he's homeless. He's going to have a preliminary hearing on Monday, October 25th, so this coming Monday. So the final thing that I want to point out is that, which I did not read in this article because I didn't read the entire thing, but I want to point out that the people who videotaped the crime, they could potentially be subject to crime, but that would be up to the DA's office. So I don't believe that the people who videotaped the crime should be suspect to criminal investigation or charged, to be quite honest. And in reality, the people who recorded it and the people who did not record it and didn't do anything, they're no better than the people who recorded or the people who didn't record. They're all the same. No one did anything. And I'm not judging these people who either recorded the event or did nothing, or did nothing in general. Unfortunately, this is a part of human psychology. Humans are messed up sometimes. There was another study that I forgot. I didn't think to look up the name of, because this part is completely off the top of my head. So there was a study done. It was an electric shock study to see. It was a study done on humans in authority to see how far humans would go when being commanded by an authority figure. So this study, I believe, happened after World War II, because after World War II, many people said, "Oh, I just did what the heads of the Nazi parties told me to do because they were authority." And for the most part, that wasn't bought, and those people were all punished for their actions, for the genocide of the Jewish people. So after that, there was studies done on humans and authority. And this study that took place, they would have a person hooked up to an actor, hooked up to something that would shock them. And every time the person answered a question, the actor answered the question right, they would not receive a shock. If they answered the question wrong, the test subjects were ordered to shock the actor who got the question incorrect. So the people who were administering the shocks did not know that this person was an actor. They had no clue. So, and the thing was, every shot got progressively stronger to the point where the final level of the shock was fatal. So the researcher would encourage the subjects of the study to continue shocking the individual harder each and every time. And I think the studies showed that 65% of people were willing to deliver a fatal dose of electric shock just because an authority figure told them to do so. 65% of participants. I believe is that number. I'm pretty sure. And they did so because a person in authority said, "Hey, continue shocking this person. It's the right thing to do." So human psychology is a bit messed up. So like I said, I'm not judging these people. I'm not judging the people who were so willing to be subservient to authority, that were willing to deliver a fatal dose of electric shock to these actors because they were told to by an authority for research purposes. The same way I'm not willing to judge the people who recorded or did not record and didn't help the woman in distress, because unfortunately that's just part of human psychology, because people don't make the best decisions all the time. So these people shouldn't be charged. But the one thing I want to say to wrap up this video is, if you see someone in distress, don't assume that someone's going to help that person. You need to get in and do so. It needs to be you. Assume that no one is going to help. Because if you assume that no one is going to help and you jump in and do something, it's guaranteed that that person will receive the help they need because you did something. So that's all I gotta say for this video. If you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and I'll post videos in the future. But I gotta leave you with one more thing before the video is over, and that's the word of the day. The word of the day for today is assume. Assume is spelled A-S-S-U-M-E. The definition of assume is supposed to be the case without proof. So now I will attempt to use assume in a sentence. If you are in a situation where someone is being attacked, don't assume someone else will help them. You need to step in and help them yourself if you want to assure that person is going to be safe. Hopefully I use that sentence correctly. So again, if you like the content, like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, because YouTube will not share my videos unless you do so. The reason why I say these things is YouTube will hide our videos. Other than that, I appreciate you watching the content. If you want to help me out a bit more, you can donate to my Patreon anywhere between $3 to $10 a month. My Patreon is www.patreon.com/keep100dre. You want to donate any more than $10 because you really like me for some reason, you can donate to my Buy Me a Coffee. My Buy Me a Coffee is buymeacoffee.com/keep100dre. You can donate any amount you want in there. Other than that, I appreciate you watching videos. If you can't afford to donate, I love you anyways. Just subscribe to the channel. So that's all I gotta say for today. I'm Sennis. Peace.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.